Okay, this is going to be for the All Gen Gamers Community Podcast host ballot. So, to start off, I wasn't really sure how I was going to go about this. I was thinking, well, do I do a whole full-blown video? Do I just do an MP3 file or what? But I decided to just do me talking over some gameplay. So that's what you're seeing here. But to start, how I got involved listening with All Gen Gamers. Well, I had been watching Gamester 81's videos quite a while before this, when they started the podcast. I'd say about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, I think. But anyway, and I decided, well, after he plugged it a couple times on his channel, I said, well, what the heck, I'll give it a listen. And I fell in love with it, and that was my first introduction to podcasts, so that's where this whole thing started with me. Now I listen to OKS, Press Start, a bunch of other ones that I'm not going to go into because this is just about All Gen Gamers. But anyway, now I think how I grew up was a kind of an interesting situation. Is I grew up in the 90s, but I grew up playing an NES. Yeah, I remember having a 2600 and a Master System, but those two broke on me. And we could never really find any new ones, so those went by the wayside. But so NES is my specialty. It's my favorite system of all time. My favorite game of all time is Super Mario Bros. 3, hands down. But so I grew up in the 90s watching shows like Nick Arcade and Legends of the Hidden Temple and all those classics. And I never had a Super Nintendo, I never had a Genesis, I never had a 64. I got a PlayStation for Christmas in 1999, but for so many years I just had an NES. And I had a stack of about 5 games that I had for a while, until when my family would come up to where I live now in Great Falls, Montana to see my grandmother. We eventually found a pawn shop that was selling NES games for $3 a pop, excuse me. So, I was able to pick up games like Mario 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, NES Play Action Football I played the hell out of. So I got to pick up, over the course of so many years, I think I'm at now the stack of about 40 games. And I'll get into that collection here in a minute, but my history of games goes back to the NES. I grew up playing. I still have to this day. Still have my top loader NES. I remember going through the big gray boxes and some of those crapped out, but this top loader still works. So, hell yeah. And I remember I had so many memories with gaming. Like I remember one night in particular that sticks out because I ended up watching Nick Arcade after one of my Mario 3 sessions. I think I got to World 4, and I was using that old square NES controller, and those hurts your thumbs after a while, so ended up quitting for the night. And I think Nick Arcade came on, and watching that, I remember the Hammerhead Shark popped up and flattened Mikey into a coin. For those who watch the show, you get that reference. But yeah, Nick Arcade, my favorite show of all time. I got exposed to a lot of games that I have quite a few games that I've since picked up and actually love, but I'll get into that here in a minute. As far as the type of games I play, I'm really not that picky. I play games like Mario and Zelda and Metroid and those classics. I play games like Assassin's Creed. I play Batman, the new one, Arkham Asylum. That one I'm getting into. I play games like Guitar Hero and Duke Nukem. I play Call of Duty. I play Madden. I don't discriminate just because a game is seen more towards the casual market like Call of Duty and Madden are, as opposed to more hardcore games like Mario or Zelda or Jack and Dax or Sly Cooper, what have you. So there isn't really that much I wouldn't play, but as long as the game interests me and I think I'll have a good time with it, I'll play it. no matter what anyone else thinks, if it's bad, if it's good, like I'll try and steer away from professional game reviewers, to be honest. I want to really formulate my own opinion about a game. So, yeah, that's just me as far as the type of games I play. I mean, I play RPGs, I play sports games, and I mean the regular like Madden, NBA 2K, or like the really arcadey stuff. Like you saw earlier on my channel here, I did NBA Jam. I play NFL Blitz. I play those arcadey, over the top style games too. I play games like Street Fighter. I'll play Virtual Fighter. I'll played Tekken before. I think I remember renting Tekken 6. And I'll play games like WWE 12 and UFC Undisputed 3. So my whole repertoire of games, I mean, it stretches just all across the board. And there's some genres I'm more well versed in than others. Like I'm more well versed in platforms and action adventure type games as opposed to like RPGs. I do play RPGs occasionally, but not all the time because with my limited amount of time, I don't really play. I just don't play a whole lot of RPGs. They're just kind of time consuming, but when I do, it's gonna be something that I think is gonna be really good and I want to play. Like I just got Skyrim, for example, and I'm starting to get into that. It's a really good game. Everything everyone said about it is spot on accurate, I think. But one thing is, I'm not a real huge PC gamer either. I'm not really like I've played a little Team Fortress 2, and I really don't have the computer to run like anything new. I just happened to luck out and get Team Fortress 2 to run. That was free, but yeah, I play multiplayer games. I play single player. I mean, yeah, it's all across the board here. Okay, and now as far as my collection, I mean, it's a pretty good sized collection, I think. I mean, gaming since I was 4 or 5 and getting games since, you do amass a lot of games. I've got a whole shelf that's just full of games. I mean, across all genres, systems. Like, one shelf is just PS1 games. The exact number, I don't know. I haven't really bothered to count, but I mean, I do, like, as far as systems I own, I mean, I own the NES, I own all 3 current gen consoles, I own a 3DS, I haven't gotten a Vita yet. I'm kind of waiting for that drop in price, you know what I mean? And after the Wii U comes out, but it's a completely different thing that I won't get into here. I mean, I got collections of games that are based off of TV. Like, I got the Family Guy game. I got Jackass the game. And it all goes back to if the game is going to interest me, I'm going to play it. And that's what I did for a long time. I mean, if it's a game I want to get, I'm going to get it. And I really never saw myself as a collector, really until I started listening to All Gen Gamers. And once I started listening to them, like, I realized that I do collect video games. So recently, I just recently got my Super Nintendo, which I was really excited about. And I got a stack of about 11 or 12 games with that, which I'll do in a later video. But yeah, to sum this whole thing up, is I'm very knowledgeable about games. I'm very broad with the type of games I play. I'm pretty broad with the systems I'll play on, and there really isn't much I won't play. I mean, right now I really can't play any like first-person shooters on the PC or anything because I don't have a computer to run these things. But once I get that going, I'll probably get a little bit more into PC gaming and stuff like that, because I don't care if it's on an iPhone or the PS3. If it's a game I want to play, I'll play it. So I think I better cut off that. This has already been going for quite a while, longer than I thought it was going to be. So, Pegasus out.